Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, and today I am sharing some inspiration for those that have not finished their December daily, whether it's from 2015, 2014, whatever the case may be. So over on the December Daily Inspiration Group Facebook page, and the link for that Facebook group is below, Jen, who is Scrappina Creations here on YouTube, she's been doing a series for us over there called Fall Finish Line. So Jen, Scrappina Creations, has 4 videos on her channel that you can go and watch. And they will inspire you to finish up a previous December daily so that you can start fresh this year. And we would love to have you over on the group, and the link is below. And the name of this series is called Fall Finish Line, and this is number 5 in the series. So I have taken out my embellishments and everything that I'm going to be using this year. And it is part of the Illustrated Faith collection called Christmas. And this is the paper pad. And it is double-sided, although the opposite side is a solid color, but that is okay. So what I've done to start with, now, I finished my December daily last year. So I'm going to make this for 2016. So I know that for 2016, I want to use a snap album. So I already had a bunch of the inserts, right, the page protector. So I pulled out one that I wanted to work with today. And then this way I'll have a page already for my 2016 album. So if anybody wants to play along, please do. Why not, right? So what I wanted to focus on was gifts. The gifts that we give to others. So whether it's from a previous year or this upcoming year, you know, you're going to be able to list a few items that you gave to the people in your life. Now, with that being said, like, I'm going to actually have the list down here. So if I go on the horizontal like this, I'm not going to be able to fit a lot there, but that's okay for me because I don't give a lot of gifts like I used to long ago. So, but if you have a long list of people that you buy for, write it on a piece of lined notebook paper, and you can just tuck it in the pocket. So you can have the pretty card on top, and then behind it in the pocket, you're going to put all of, you know, the list that you had. So on this particular card, which is a 3x4, I already went and put the letters on it because I didn't want you to have to watch me do that. And they are just assorted letters. They're not from this particular kit or anything. They're just in my stash. But this was a tab. Right, it's a tab. It would normally go over a page, but I cut it in 2. So now I have 2 tabs, and you know, I don't want this wasted on the back side of this. I don't know if I would use it or not. So I cut it off, and now this is pretty much done, this card right here. And it says, "My gifts to you." So over here on this 3x4, I'm going to actually move this out of my way. I pulled out the stamp set by Illustrated Faith, the Christmas collection, and I'm using this stamp with the gifts on it and my archival ink. And I'll go ahead and stamp that on that 3x4. And let me see if I can get it straight. Sorry, you're probably going to see my head a little bit. So sorry about that. And if it's not perfectly straight, I'm good with that. But there we go. Looking good. Beautiful. Love it. But I want to pull some color into it. So I don't necessarily want it just all one color. So whether you have watercolors, acrylic paints, whatever the case may be, pull them out. They can be crayons, Crayola crayons. But in this case, I pulled out my Staedtler watercolor crayons. And again, I just want a tad of color on here, and it doesn't even have to look super beautiful. Does that sound terrible? But I do want to keep with the colors of the page. So I know I definitely want some red. And I just have an acrylic block here. This is an acrylic block that I use for my stamps. And I'm going to pull out some red, some green, and, you know, here's another color green, another shade. Okay, so with these particular colors, I'm just going to put a little bit of water on my table with my sprayer. I have a very, very, very fine tip brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the water, pick up a little bit of the color, right, because it's watercolor. So let me think. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of color on this middle present. So I didn't, you know, for those mixed media artists out there, I did not put anything on this piece of paper to as a foundation. So it's just paper without gesso on it. So I'm not expecting it to do too much, but just enough, right? Again, I just wanted to pull a little bit of color in. So that's the red. I think I'll put a little bit of the darkest green up on top. Nothing fancy schmancy, easy peasy, easy peasy. And what's nice about this is that you can see, you know, the stamped image underneath it. So by using a watercolor and really making it very watery, it shows the stamped image behind it. So I think I'm going to pull some of this red again for down here. And just get that on there. Okay, so now I have my stamp. And I have a little bit of color on there. Put this away. And clean up over here because I don't want the water getting on the back of it. So I was thinking, I knew it was going to just be like in the center right there. And I do want a little bit more design around it. So let's see, I think I'll take my brush pen, the Pitt Artist pen in black, but it's not the big brush pen. It's just the regular size brush pen. And I'm going to do some scalloping. We're going to do some doodling around this, just to give it a little bit extra pizzazz, as they say, pizzazz. Now, you don't have to do this. Again, you might have a whole different idea for this particular page where you're going to share the gifts that you purchased for others. And that's fine. This is just to give you an idea. This is a jumping off point, something to inspire you, which is what the Facebook group is all about. And if you want to basically copy this, I'm sure everybody watching this has some stamp of gifts. I just think that you probably do. So I'm going to call that 3x4 done. So now this is what I have. So now I'm going to work on the bottom 4x6. And all I want to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is make some lines. And I think I'm going to use, let's see, I think I'm going to use the this very, very fine tip. This is not a brush tip pen. And so I'm going to have Mom and Dad Tracy, Jeremy, Madison. So, and I picked this particular, excuse me, this particular pattern paper because it had something that I could follow, basically the lines across. I kind of cheated a little bit there. And all I'm going to do is make a line across like that. In this case, I can go down two trees in this case, and know that I'm, you know, basically even. And the last one will be for my granddaughter, which of course is who I buy the most for. You know what? I'll have 2 lines for my granddaughter. I'm sure you guys totally get that, right? When you have a little one in the family, who do you buy the most for, right? Sorry, let me take a sip. Okay. So over on the side here, I'm going to go back to my brush tip pen, and I'm going to write Mom and Dad. Actually, I'm going to write Ma and Dad because that's what I call her, Ma and Dad. And that looks like Matt, but that's and. That's an and sign. Tracy. Jeremy. And Madison. And I'm going to have 2 lines for Madison, which I'm sure I will fill those up without a problem whatsoever. Okay. So we're almost done. The last piece that I want to do is just put a little bit of embellishing on this 4x6. So I took out a few things, and these are all from the Illustrated Faith, one of the embellishment kits that says love. I like that. Let's see, and maybe a little tree, something like, oh, that, you know what? I like that. That is perfect. And I will just adhere these on. And so this is for my 2016 December daily, but I am hoping that it will inspire all of you that are trying to finish up a previous December daily with this series called Fall Finish Line. So that's it. And again, you know, if you finished last year's and you want to make this for this year's, I think it's a great idea. You'll have a page already done. All right, well, thank you all so much. Let me see if I can lift this up so that you can see it a little bit closer. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Check out the Facebook group link below called December Daily Inspiration Group - Anything Goes. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. God bless.